welcome to week 26 in my 4th grade classroom. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Marily Sanchez and I'm a 4th grade teacher in South Florida. It is the end of the day on Monday, February 27th, 2023, and I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of how our day went. So this morning I started with my block 1, which is my homeroom students, and we basically went ahead and did a little Smart Start activity, which is the same Smart Start activity that I'll have my block 2 do tomorrow, since we've switched with our blocks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that one was a quick little Black History inventors handout that they just had to answer 3 questions and figure out a secret word. And then on the back, they had to do a word search on civil rights leaders. This is the handout right here, which I got from education.com. I do have a subscription to it. And here is the back, which has little clues that go with the words that they have to find within the word search. So it was a quick activity to get them started on the day. And then what we did was we reviewed star parties and our anchor text, The Moon Over Star, and we compared both of those passages. We reviewed the description text structure, and then the students started taking their Wonders assessment for that unit, which is unit 4, weeks 3 and 4. Now, my block 1 is a little bit ahead of block 2. So in the afternoon, my block 2 ended up reading the anchor text, The Moon Over Star, and then they went ahead and completed the character perspective graphic organizer, which I'll show you right now, and they answered the respond to reading question. With the character perspective, I wanted them to find how May felt about the moon landing. So we gathered details, and then the students helped me come up with her perspective, and they used this in order to answer the question in their book. This was the question, but this is actually the answer that I came up with my block 1. For my block 2, because it's mostly ELL students, I created this closed passage so that they can just fill in the blanks. This one is already completed after I give the students some time to figure it out. And then what I did is I just created these text boxes, which I am easily able to just, click and drag. So they were over here in the word bank, and then I just dragged them into place as we completed the closed paragraph. So that's what we did for my block 2, and then I ended the class period by having them watch videos of the moon landing from 1969, which the anchor text talks about. It's a historical fiction story of a family that witnesses and watches the day that the astronauts landed on the moon and how the family felt about it. So tomorrow with that class, we're just going to read our paired selection star parties, identify the text features, identify the text structure, compare it to the moon over star, and yeah, that'll be that. And then we move on to our writing activity, which I didn't get to do with both classes today. My block 1 needed the time to finish their reading test, which they didn't finish, so they'll have some time tomorrow. And my block 2 needed time to finish their reading activities. And of course, we took some time to watch the moon landing videos. That is all that I have to share for today, Monday. I will see you tomorrow. Hello, everyone. It's the end of the day on Tuesday, and we made it through the day, and that is an achievement all in itself, because this morning was a pretty good morning. It wasn't too bad. My block 2 started with me this morning. I had to finish up some last minute things that I found out for my data chat while they were working on their Smart Start, and then we read the paired text for unit 4, weeks 3 and 4 on star parties, talked about how we compared and contrasted it to the anchor text. And let me show you that double bubble right now. So this is a double bubble that we completed for both the anchor text, which is the moon over star, and star parties, which is the paired selection. Then for my block 1 this afternoon, or after lunch, because our lunch is so early, it's still morning when I start my block 2, we went ahead and worked on introducing them to the new unit, which is unit 4, week 5, slowly catching up to where we need to be. And for that one, we are doing narrative poems, and we're looking at how writers show success in different ways. So we watched the weekly opener video, we did the study blast, we also did the read aloud, and we discussed narrative poem structure. And then we started reading the shared text poems. We started by first reading Sing to Me, and I just noticed that all my annotations were lost. But we were doing annotations, like we found a hyperbole, we looked at repetition, we tried to see what was happening in the poem and how it showed a moment of success. And then I had students work on their own by reading the next poem, which is The Climb, and doing the same thing while answering the questions on the margin, which is the find text evidence questions. Then after I gave students some time, I showed them how they should have annotated their poem. This is a PowerPoint that I just put together, and how they needed to answer those questions so they can check their answers and check for understanding. So that's pretty much what we ended up accomplishing today. Since we're doing narrative poems, I wanted to remind students of what a narrative is, which is a story, and what the elements of a story are. So I show them the elements of a story video from Vocabulary. And that is basically what we did for today, Tuesday. So I will see you tomorrow for Wednesday. It's now the end of the day, Wednesday, and I just wanted to give you a little update. So today, my students were mostly testing my block 1, which I started with today, because they didn't finish their Wonders assessment on Monday, and I had the laptop cart today. I couldn't have it yesterday. They were finishing their Wonders test, and that pretty much took up the entire period, and I was able to have students that finish work on their iReady or read ebooks on Mayan. And then my block 2 took the same test. My block 1 started on Monday, but they finished today, but my block 2 took it today. Now with that class, because it's predominantly my ELL learners, I have 1s and 2s that don't take the computer-based tests. They take a scaffolded assessment, because I have like 11 students that don't take the computer-based test. So we did the scaffolded assessment, and then my other students were working on the computer tests. Kind of same test. It's just that the ELLs level 1s and 2s, they only do the first passage, and the scaffolded assessment has a lot of pictures and illustrations to help them make meaning of the English words. That's pretty much what we ended up doing today. Not much to report on, and now I'm getting ready to go home for the day. So I will see you tomorrow. It's now the end of the day on Thursday, and it's very late. I had Minecraft Club today after school, which ended at 4:10, and then I was supervising dismissal till about 4:30. I went to talk to one of the 3rd grade teachers, and I shared one of my poetry comprehension books with her because she's working with her students on poetry. And then I came to my classroom, and I was trying to wrap up, but then one of my friends called me, and while she was on the phone with me, I started to be productive, and I created the daily affirmations that I've been meaning to put on the student's desk. And I also want to say I got rid of the chair pockets again, second time, because I noticed the students are not really using them again. And one of the students used scissors to cut these chair pockets. I know, it's like I've had them for a very long time, pretty much like 16 years. I had them done by a nice lady that I found online many years ago. She sewed them by hand from another state, and I've really taken good care of them, but it's just not working for us this year. So I got rid of them, and right now the students don't know which color teams they're sitting in. So I had thought, the little adhesives that I have on their desk where I was doing the token system, instead of the stop, go, pause signs, I was using the 1, 2, 3 stars as they are behaving correctly. So instead of starting with the green start, a star, I wanted to put daily affirmations there, and I wanted to put color paper there so that they know which team they're on. So let me show you how they came out. So these are the little adhesive pockets that I got from Amazon. I ended up replacing some of them that were a little bit torn up, and I used up my extras, but I just cut out some Astro Bright color paper, just a plain one. I did not laminate that color paper. I did laminate the affirmations though. So they're in there. So these are the affirmations. I am capable of learning anything I set my mind to. I believe in myself and my ability to succeed. I am kind, respectful, and compassionate to myself and others. I am grateful for all the wonderful things in my life, and I choose to focus on the positive. Today is a new day, and I choose to make it a great one. So that is how they now look. So this is purple team, as you can tell. Here is red team, and here is orange team, green team, and blue team. So tomorrow I'll have the students start reading their affirmations and starting off the class period with a positive mindset, and I'll have them do like a little meditation. So just little things to, set the tone for the day. So other than that, let me show you what we ended up doing today. And this morning I started with my block 2, and they immediately got their computers and finished working on their assessment. Students that were done, my ELL level 1s, were doing Imagine Learning to help them learn English. The other students were doing iReady, making sure they got their minutes in, and if they were done with all that, they read books on My On Reading. And then my block 1, which I had this afternoon, we continued working on our poems. At first, we did a little bit of a data chat kind of thing. I passed out their data trackers, and they updated their graph for the test that we have taken. And we just kind of talked about their goals and how close they are to the next level with their state assessments. And the last one that we're going to take is in May. So we did that for a moment, and then we continued reading our poems. We reread the shared read poems, and then I had the students complete a theme graphic organizer that was in their books and complete the respond to reading question. So I gave them time. We did the theme organizer together, but then I gave them time to respond to the reading question. And then after I gave them time, I showed them what their answer could possibly look like. So right here on classroom screen, I just created a snapshot of that organizer, and I typed in for the one poem that we needed to find the theme for. And then they had to respond to this question. And here are the sentence stems. Again, I just took a screenshot of the book. And this is the response, and they needed to include both poems that they read about success and how they can help people become successful. You know, talking about affirmations, I completely forgot that on Tuesday, at the end of the day, one of our students finally made it to 100 points on Class Dojo. So she was the first one in that group to get to 100 points. So I thought, let me just make an affirmation wheel and spin it for her and see what affirmation comes out. Let me show you the classroom color wheel that I created with, I think is Wheel of Names. Yeah, Wheel of Names website, which is free. And I saved it so I can use it for future times. So here is the Wheel of Names, and I use the advanced settings so that you can choose the color for each section. And I typed in the different affirmations. So let's see which one we get right now. And it's going to be, okay, really great. Okay, good. It's I am respectful. Awesome. So I really liked creating this, and I really like how it came out. So that's what we ended up doing today. We are a little bit behind because of how long it took us to finish those tests on the computer. So tomorrow, I'm going to try my best to catch up to where we're supposed to be. And I'm finalizing tomorrow my lesson plans for next week to have a better idea of what things I need to maybe move for next week and make sure I address. But hopefully by next week, we will be exactly in the unit that we're supposed to be and finally caught up with wonders. But little by little, right? All right, so I'm going to leave you for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, everyone. We made it to the end of the day on Friday. I'm a very tired teacher, but I just finished my lesson plans for next week and putting them on Google Keep as well. Today in the morning, I had my block 1, and we finished reading the anchor text poems and the paired text poems because they were all short. We discussed the theme for all of them. We discussed some poetry structures, some figurative language, repetition. The authors use a repetition. So I think they're almost ready to take the test, but instead of giving it to them on Monday, I'm going to give it to them on Tuesday so we can spend a little bit more time on the anchor text and paired text poems and further discuss the theme and the connotation and denotation of some of the words, since that is another skill that they'll be tested on in the test. So with my block 2, we also made it to our shared read poems, so they're a little bit behind, slowly catching them up. And we read Sing to Me, which was the first poem for the shared read poems. We annotated the poem, we found the repetition of the poem, we answered the find text evidence questions, and then we read the climb and did the same. They didn't get to do the theme graphic organizer yet, but I will have them do that next week on Monday and hopefully start them up on the anchor text poems. But let me go ahead and show you my lesson plans for next week and wrap up this week's video. So here are my lesson plans for next week, wrapping up Unit 4, Weeks 3, actually Week 5, and then starting up with Unit 5, Weeks 1 and 2, which is actually where we're supposed to be next week. So I'm so glad we're getting caught up. And yes, I still have the same reading plans because as I'm trying to catch up, I am losing time with reading. Reading is 30 minutes every day, and Just trying to use that time to catch up, but I will catch up with writing as well. But this is what the lesson plans look like, and this is how they look like on Google Keep. So I have my PNG or my picture file of my lesson plans there. I also have them here next to my computer. And then I have my Google Keep checklist so I can check off as I get things done, so I know what I have completed and what I may need to move for the following week. So that is it for today, and that is it for week 27, or 26, I should say. Next week is week 27. I think I got that right. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. Hello dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you, because you are capable of great things. See you next time.